Hello everybody, welcome back. This is DJ, the aspiring gearhead, and I gotta say, this lighting really works. I guess there's no real substitute for daylight, although in the camera it looks like more that here in the afterlife kind of brightness. Anyway, today I'm gonna work on my car, the Elantra obviously, but I'm gonna start off by doing a little something for my mom's car. So as you can see, the grill is missing. Apparently my mom was driving one day and it just came off on the freeway. Between the fact that it was on the freeway and that I'm guessing there were some cars behind her, trying to go back and get in and reattach it was basically out of the question. So it's been absent until a couple weeks ago when I bought a new grill. It looks pretty good. Can't wait to put it in. That's what he said, and that's what I say a lot. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this on her car. It was actually a little something I got for her birthday, but it showed up late, and I'm just getting to it now. But before I do any of that, once you're back here at the car, as I'm sure you saw before, yeah, the bugs are all over the place on this thing, which is weird because it wasn't that there was only a few of them before the grill came in, and then as soon as it did and I realized I was gonna have to fix this up, suddenly it's like the bugs were darting in front of my mom's car because they knew I'd have to clean this off. I figured they'd make it harder for me. But yeah, first I'm gonna set up the pressure washer, grab some of the foam in the buckets, and clean this off. While I'm set up the pressure washer, I just remember this. Apparently my mom tried to wipe off the front end yesterday in preparation for this, and the hose burst in a couple of spots. Here's one of them. You can, it's kind of hard to see where the hose itself, oh, there it is. Yeah, you can see it just split, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, luckily my mom has 2 or 3 other hoses to use, and that's what I'll be putting into the pressure washer today. Okay, ready to get started. I've got my pressure washer, got a little bit of foam, and got a bucket so I can wipe it down after. So the pro of this is that I'm over in the shade, and once I'm done cleaning, I'm going to bring the car in here so I can put in the grill without having to deal with all the heat. The only downside is, pretty sure I'm going to have to make sure I'm extra careful to not shoot too much soap and water into that space where the grill's supposed to be blocking. So, got to make sure my aim is really good. It's a bit cleaner, obviously not perfect, but yeah, I can get more intensive with that later, you know, when that's actually the point. Right now it's just to get as much of the bug corpses off as I could, and mission accomplished. So now I'm going to bring the car in and check to make sure I can put in this grill. Alright, the car is in along with about a half dozen flies. Man, they are annoying this time of year. Anyway, next, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the grill, but also while I'm at it, I know it's probably hard to see in there, but there's also a little plastic piece that's hanging down a bit, so I'm going to jack up the car, see what we need to do to get that back in while I'm working on this. So, here we go. This time around, I'm going to jack the car from the front so I can put it in the jack stands. Got a minute. It's nice doing it from the front. Usually I do it from the side. Ladies. I'm starting to see why it's been so long since I've gotten any. Okay, I decided to take a look at the covering first, and yeah. Apparently there's some hardware missing, so I guess I'll have to see if I can track that down from my mom. So yeah, that one's just that's just gonna have to drag a while. Hope the noise doesn't annoy her. Although I imagine if it did, she'd probably have said something by now. Anyway, on to the grill. And done. That was surprisingly easy. Just slide into a few tabs. The only thing that seems to be a problem is right here there's this little dent, so it doesn't allow it to be quite flush against the grill, but it seems like it should be sturdy enough now. I don't think my mom has to worry about this thing flying off the freeway, I would think. I probably just jinxed myself with that, but yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic these days. So yeah, done. Now that my mom's car's taken care of, now it's time to take care of mine. So what I'm gonna do today is basically some tune-up stuff. Some things that, even though I've had the car for 6 years, maybe 7, I can't even remember anymore, I haven't really done these. All I've really done is oil changes and dealt with coolant when it got low or leaked, as you saw. So, but since that's going to be a lot of things that I have to check all at once, and I don't want this video to be an hour and a half long, I'm going to break up into parts. And right now I'm going to deal specifically with the ones that had given me issues I actually managed to notice. So, what I'm going to end up doing is changing out the air filter, because this is Arizona, so my car guaranteed has the dusty mouth. I'm also going to change out the spark plugs because I've been noticing some ignition issues, although part of that might be because our driveway is on an incline or decline, depending on which way you're going, which might mess with the levels of stuff. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, I haven't changed out the spark plugs in ever, so it's pretty sure it's due. And then what I've also noticed is that my brake fluid is a little bit low. As you can see, the max line is right here, but the fluid a little bit lower than that. And since I don't want to crash and or die, I'm going to go ahead and not only refill that, but because, again, 7 years, I haven't touched the brake fluid, I'm pretty sure it's due. And even if it's not, I imagine bleeding that and flushing it with new brake fluid could only do good as long as I do it right. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. I've already bought the stuff I needed. For the spark plugs, I've got a spark plug socket. I've got some spark plug boot protector. I've actually brought a one-man brake bleeder kit. Cool, I actually said that right. But it came with this bottle, and since I don't feel like making 17 trips and I don't really have anywhere to put it in the meantime, I decided to make my own, like as I've seen on the YouTubes by the likes of Chris Fix and them. got the brake fluid. I also bought spark plugs, an air filter, and also the wires for the spark plugs. I figure I may as well switch those out too. So first thing to do is jack up the car so that it's in position for the brake bleed. I think with the videos I've seen, they said you can do it without taking the tires off, but I'm gonna do that because I'm just extra like that. So I've got my water and I've got my tunes. I know I keep making comments to that, but yeah, it's kind of important to me to have music while I'm working on something, something time intensive. Plus, music is just kind of a big deal to me. I'm about to eradicate it if they spoke on my name. It was fabricated. Every move that I made has been calculated. If you hate, then you get decapitated. Are you captivated? I was going for this. Why are you aggravated? I got tripping so hot it evaporated. Got driving through park, I can validate. If this video I'm about to examine it, no exaggerations, no problem. Hakuna Matata. So the tires are off. Which, yeah, like I said you can do without it, but I'm being extra with it. Plus, I need to make sure I can get a good long look at everything. So, now on to bleeding the brakes. First things first, I gotta top off the brake cylinder so that there's no air coming through. Okay. Per all the brake flush instructions, I'm starting at the set of brakes furthest away from the brake master cylinder, so I'm on the rear passenger side. So now I gotta find the bleeder screw, but it's all dark and dirty in here. Actually, that'd be me. But yeah, taking a look, pretty sure I found it right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up my reservoir for the brake fluid. And also, in case anyone's wondering, I went with .3. I know there's also .4, which could work as well, but I figure given the age of the car, it's most likely .3, so I'm just sticking with that. So I'm gonna start loosening the bleeder screw, and I got my eye protection just in case. And then I also have it propped up on the stool because it also says you want to keep it above the bleeder screw so that the air goes up. And first I gotta fill this up a little bit so that it's not pulling in air when I let off the brake. Okay, looks like the tubing for this is too small to get on top of the bleeder screw, so I'm gonna go make a quick run and get something with a bigger diameter. Luckily my mom is cool enough to let me borrow her car so I can run over to Home Depot and grab some tubing. And just like Bender from Futurama, I'm back, baby! So now, I'm gonna cut up the tubing so I don't have a giant long tray that could throw off the bleeding process, and I also got zip ties in case I need to make sure it's got a tight seal on the bleeder screw. The brake pedal's getting solid to where it can barely move, so I'm going to check to see what came out. Yep, it is coming out, and as you can see, it's darker than what comes in the bottle. So I'll just keep bleeding it out till it gets clear. I didn't really record all that much because I was trying to keep focused on this, but I pretty much ran through it. I had to make a couple of adjustments. I had to cut the tubing because it was a little long, which I think was holding up the pressure, and also switch from having the bottle on my stool to on this bucket because I think apparently only the tubing needs to be above the bleeder screw. I think bringing it down a little bit lower helped out. Speaking of the fluid, take a look. That's what came out. And now, instead of looking like that, it's actually pretty clear. So, let's see, this one's set. So now, on to the second farthest from the brake master cylinder, which is driver's side rear. I'm actually pretty excited to do this side because this will be the side where I can actually see what's happening while I'm pressing the brake. The other one I was like, I couldn't tell if it was moving or not, or were the spurts stopping in the exact same place. Highly unlikely. But yeah, so I'll be able to work through this one, and I imagine it'll go a little bit faster because I've managed to bleed some of the old brake fluid from the master cylinder. So let's get started. Who knows, I may even throw a time lapse on this one. Much clearer. Say, yeah, pretty good flush. So now on to front passenger side. Yeah, this one actually got me for a sec because I was looking behind here for the bleeder screw, but turns out not. It's up here onto the caliper, which makes complete freaking sense. So, yep, on to the next one. And that's it for the brake flush. I'm going to wrap this one, I'm going to tie off this bleeder screw and then put all the wheels back on, let the car down, and get to the next part.